The European Union has just escalated its response to U.S. tariffs, joining China and Canada in implementing countermeasures. This trade war, once focused on steel and tech, has expanded to food, impacting farmers worldwide. As President Joe Biden shifts U.S. trade policy, the fallout for American agriculture is becoming devastating. U.S. agriculture in crisis. President Biden's recent move to impose additional tariffs on imports has sent shockwaves through the agricultural sector. These tariffs, which can go up to 25%, have effectively shut out U.S. farmers from key markets, most notably China. In 2024, China's soybean imports from the U.S. plummeted by over 30%, leaving Brazilian farmers to dominate the market. The results are immediate. Fields once abundant with soybeans now sit idle, and American farmers are finding it nearly impossible to compete. Corn silos overflow with unsold grain, and livestock auctions are flooded with desperate sellers cutting prices to survive. Bankruptcy filings are rising at the fastest rate since the 1980s farm crisis, with many farmers now facing financial ruin. Global shift in trade. This U.S. agricultural collapse is reverberating globally. Brazil, Argentina, and Paraguay are seizing the opportunity to expand their market share. Brazil's soybean exports to China reached record levels in 2024 as the country expands its agricultural footprint. Meanwhile, Argentina and Paraguay are aggressively pushing into Asian markets, previously dominated by American exports. Countries like Australia and New Zealand are also ramping up dairy exports to fill the gap in Asia left by American producers. The shift in global agricultural dynamics is swift, with new players capitalizing on the opportunities opened by U.S. retreat. The Indian battle, GM crops versus local farming. Meanwhile, a new front has emerged in India. U.S. negotiators are pushing India to open its agricultural markets to genetically modified GM American crops like corn and soybeans. This has led to massive protests from Indian farmers, especially in Punjab and Uttar Pradesh. Environmental groups also warn that introducing GM crops could undermine local farming practices and biodiversity. India, with its rich agricultural heritage, is now at a crossroads. Accept the influx of cheaper American grain or protect its local ecosystems and food sovereignty. The global economic disruption. The economic fallout from these tariff wars is not just affecting farmers. It's beginning to shake the global food system. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, recently warned that escalating tariffs could lead to mass job losses in agriculture, not only in the U.S., but also in developing nations dependent on exports. In the U.S., farmers are facing a double whammy. Markets for their goods have shrunk, and the government's bailout measures are no longer enough. Bankruptcy rates are soaring, and suicide rates among farmers are climbing as desperation sets in. One farmer said it best, "You can't farm if the world won't buy your crops." The impacts on global food prices. As global trade routes shift, food prices are rising. Dairy, grains, fruits, and vegetables are all seeing price hikes due to disrupted supply chains. The real pain, though, is being felt in food banks, which are bracing for an increase in demand as low-income families struggle to afford basic nutrition. Drop your thought in the comment, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe.